The institutions, what have they done to humanity? I see institutions as a sense of externalized responsibility. So we have hospitals and doctors, institutionalized health, pharmaceutical companies. We have schools, universities, colleges, tutors, institutionalized education. And then we have the justice system, the police, institutionalized morals. And so what happens when we institutionalize these things? People start to rely on the institution instead of what's inside of them to take care of these things. So in terms of education, kids don't really want to learn because they feel like you have to go to school and it's boring and you learn all this stuff you don't want to learn. You're not really learning out of your own interest a lot of the time. And you're relying on the teacher, you're relying on the school, the university, the college, you're paying your tutor so that they can teach you. But in the end, teaching or learning is something that comes from within. If you want to learn, it's because you have a will to learn, it's because it interests you. And so, we need to really have the internal will, and it doesn't matter if you have a diploma or whatever it is. You can learn without going to a school, without having a teacher. You are your own teacher, you're your own student. We have health, where people generally think, I'm not going to say everyone, there are some people waking up, but generally people think that disease is real, that genetics control your health, and that if you get cancer from one day to the next, it happened just like that. It was probability, it was in your genetics. And you got to go to the doctor's office, you got to go to the hospital, because they are the people responsible for your health. You're not responsible for your health. It's institutionalized, so whatever happens, happens. Just have faith in the doctors and the pharmaceutical companies. The way I see it is that we are all responsible for our health. What we do in our daily lives, the amount that we move, if we're sitting in front of the TV and we're not moving, if we're playing video games and not moving, we're not breathing fresh air, we're not getting out into nature, we're not eating healthy, we're not eating directly from the earth. We're eating things that are more processed, that have laboratory made drugs inside of them, like flavoring agents, coloring agents. And so when we're getting into those things, eating these things every day, consuming these things every day, and not moving on top of that, is it maybe our responsibility that we became ill with a disease that we only see as a disease because the health professionals, the doctors, the people working in the hospital say, oh, it's genetics, there's nothing you could have done really. When really I see genetics more as something that it's a record. Our body has recorded inside of its DNA the record of our direct blood lineage. So our parents, our grandparents, our great-grandparents, what they did is recorded in the DNA, saying they ate this shit, or maybe they ate well. And on top of that, you're born into a house with your parents where it's difficult to eat things or consume things or do things that your parents don't do. You have to be a really conscious child to not drink Coca-Cola when everyone in your family is drinking Coca-Cola. When everyone in your family is eating Nestle products, you have to be a super conscious child to not eat these things. And so, to me, that is genetics. You're born into a house that watches TV, that plays video games all day, that doesn't take care of their health, that eats things fried in vegetable oil that's primarily made from genetically modified soybean. And so, for this reason, you end up with health problems, and they call it genetics, but really epigenetics. You can change what you consume, you can change what you do, and you can get out of the genetic trap. Really, it's in your mind that is genetics. And then morals. We have a justice system, we have police, and we also have the psychosocial perspective where people see you doing whatever it is you do And so to me, if I don't treat someone well, if I don't treat others the way I want to be treated, the golden rule, if I steal, if I lie, I feel bad inside. I don't need a police officer to tell me that I did something wrong. I don't need a court. I don't need any of these things. But some people want to get away with a lot of things, and they feel that as long as they aren't punished externally, as long as no one catches them, as long as the justice system or the police are all right with it in the end, then it's not something wrong. And so we have moralist individuals running around everywhere just saying, you know, as long as they don't catch me, it's all good.